What's up, it's Josh here for Horns Up Rocks, and I got Erik from Indestructible Noise Command. Erik, first of all, thank you very much for doing this.
Thanks for having me, dude.
I'm very glad that you guys are back. You have a new album coming out on August 9th, so we'll start from there. It is titled Hellbound. Tell me a little bit about the process of coming back, because obviously you guys were very prevalent in the mid-'80s. You had Pantera open for you guys, for example, to give people a little reference. And tell us, about the whole process, how bringing them back together, the whole new album, what people can expect, and all that good stuff.
Well, yeah, we broke up in 1990 after we put out two records. The second record had come out in 88, and everything was going pretty well. And just, long story short, just a lot of bad things happened, and the band started fighting. We were young, we were a little immature, we were all teenagers basically, and we broke up, and there was nothing really said about it for 2 decades. I mean, we had talked about it in the past. Whenever we'd go out or whenever we get together, we'd say, we should get together and do a show. We should maybe do a couple songs. But, everyone was always busy doing other things, and we never really took it seriously up until last year. It was last February when Dennis Gergely and myself were speaking on Instant Message on the internet, and we're talking about bands that we had played with back in the day, back in the 80s, and we started Googling them, just to see what happened to them, and we found that a lot of them were actually still playing music, and they were still recording albums and playing shows. So we were thinking, hey, these guys are have cracked 40. Why don't we try it too? So I said, let me write a song and let's see where it goes. And I wrote Full Metal Jacket. That was the first tune, and I actually wrote it really fast. I wrote it in about 45 minutes, and everything sort of just clicked together. It was as if I'd never stopped writing thrash. It had a little bit of a new flair to it, but it was just easy. It was easy, it wasn't forced at all, and the guys in the band loved it. And from there we said, okay, let's get back together. Let's write a bunch of songs and put something out there and see if people dig it. So what we did was we went to the studio last summer and we did 6 songs, the first 6 songs, and we put I believe the Line EP out. We put it out on our own label, and we basically just put it out for radio and for press and for record companies. And a few months later, we got signed to Rising Records, and that's it. Once we got signed, we finished the other 6 songs in the studio and sent all 12 songs to Frederick Nordstrom. And, he got a blazing sound on it, and then that's it. We have Heaven Sent Hellbound, and everything sort of happens fast. We got together late February, and we were in the studio, finishing up the album less than a year later. So everything sort of just, it happened so fast, we almost don't even remember any of it. We almost don't remember a lot of it happening, because it was just like 1 month to the next. There's so much of a change. So we're just sort of taking it all in now that the album is done and it's coming out, and so we're real excited about that.
Right, and again, it's coming on August 9th, and what are the touring plans? Because obviously now, obviously the last year has been a lot of work, but as you know, right now, especially in the record industry, it's all about touring.
Yeah, we're planning on touring end of summer, beginning of fall, probably do Europe first, and then come to the States in the fall. And then, of course, next year we really want to do a lot of the festivals in Europe. There are a few festivals in the States as well. And see where it goes. We're looking to go out as a supporting act for a bigger band. So we're definitely looking to hook up with someone bigger who could bring in a big crowd to a bigger venue. I mean, we're definitely not. We can't get to the point where we're getting into a van and doing 300 shows in little clubs. We just can't do that these days. We really have to try to do higher impact shows. So we're definitely looking for some bigger shows, but we have some good things in the horizon. We're talking to some people, so it should all come together hopefully in the next month or two. So we should have some tour dates to announce then.
Very, very cool. And of course, we'll keep people posted with those tour dates. And Erik, right now is a really good time for thrash metal. We have obviously the big four who finally joined forces, did a tour together. And I think for you guys, it's good momentum and good timing that you're coming out with a record on August. And, I think for thrash metal, the next 5-10 years look pretty promising. Not like it went away, but I think now and more, you're seeing more and more bands. And I think it's cool that, thrash metal is back on the rise, man.
Yeah, music is kind of like toys, like when you're a kid, you get your new toy and you love it and you play with it like every single day. And then like the next new toy comes and you put that old toy like in the closet and you keep getting new toys, you keep putting old stuff in the closet and suddenly you open the closet and you're like, shit, I got some great toys in here, And that's really what thrash is like. I mean, the old school thrash, it's always been great and a lot of the bands that started out in the 80s are still putting out great music, Exodus and Testament. There's still great bands out there. Dead Angels doing good stuff. So, I just think the metal audience around the world, they got kind of caught up in this new metal stuff. And I'm not saying anything bad about it. Some good new metal bands out there, but I think a lot of them, especially with the big four, the awareness to old school has really risen. So now people are like, wow, that stuff's really awesome. And even the old fans from back in the 80s and 90s are going back to it and say, this is where it's at, this is where it started, and there's something really cool and organic about the old school, it's just blazing guitar and just, blazing drums, everything just like, pure aggression, and I think people like that, and so, yeah, it's definitely a good time for us to come back. I mean, we didn't plan it like this, but it's getting hot again.
Right, and this is one of the things about heavy music. It always goes into a circle of things, which is, I think, why it keeps all of us, the fans and the musicians and the media, together into one. And it's one thing that maybe outsiders can't understand, but it is because we have so much passion for it, and we go to the shows, and it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? I'm sure you pick up your guitar every day, even though, you already probably have the record finished, but you're still always working on new stuff and new ideas. And obviously, this is what makes the difference, as you were saying before, between the bands that are going to make an impact and, the bands that are, going to be like regional, local, which is not a bad thing, of course, but, you got to kind of shoot for the big stars, especially nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely came back with a slightly, modern twist on us. I mean, it's not like, we got preserved in time from 1988 and then we kind of just came back and we're the same band. A lot of people even said, hey, you guys have changed since 1988. Well, of course, we were, 18, 19 years old when we made those records and, not over 2 decades have gone by. So obviously, we have a new twist and, we're into sort of trying some new things. We have some new, some songs that kind of take people by surprise on the album, like Swallowed, it's more like a heavy bluesy kind of like, almost like a tribute to the great bands of the past, like Sabbath. So, we're definitely expanding our horizons, but we're definitely, sticking to the roots. I think that's where it's important. Like you said, things go around in a circle. People just kind of rediscover the roots. And like, music is always it's a big tree, and the roots, as strong as the roots are, that's how strong the tree is going to be. The branches and everything else will fall off. The leaves will always fall off at the top, but the roots will always be there. And that's sort of like, where our music comes from. We come from like the roots of thrash. We started out in the 80s, just soon after the whole San Francisco sound. And so, I just think people go back there and just almost rediscover how great it is. And I think it'll be around forever because it just has that great sound to it.
Erik, I think that sums it up, and that's a very, I like what you just said because it really reflects what you want to do with this new record, and I want to wish you the best of luck. I'm sure I'm going to see you on the road because actually Sam, your bass player, and Kenny are very good friends of mine and very talented guys. And, when I heard that you were working with those guys, I was like, oh, nice. It's cool to see, as you were saying, that you want to do something fresh. You don't want to take the dudes from back in the day and, you want to do something fresh. And those guys are definitely doing, their own thing with the different bands. And the fact that they're working with Indestructible Noise Command makes me really excited and really stoked about it, because I think you're putting together a really cool project, and I think it's gonna, I want everybody on August 9th to go pick it up, because it's hard times in the music industry, and it's you got a good music right there, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. We're definitely we have our sights set for a long-term kind of journey here. And, we didn't come back really to make one record. We kind of just made this record to just make a statement that, hey, we're back. But to be honest, the whole next record is written already, and this first record was a great way for us to get back. But I mean, we're looking forward to already touring and then putting another record out, and so we're here to stay long term, and we got some big big songs planned, big future planned. We have some surprises as well that we're working on. Can't really announce it yet, but probably next week or two we got some special guests that are working with us. Some big name artists, so we're definitely we're moving along pretty quickly, and I mean, you got to be in the game to win, so it just feels great to be back in the game. We've been out of it so long, and it's just exciting, just to have a record out, and we're looking forward to playing shows. We're all getting into shape, we're all jogging, we're running, we're boxing, so we're definitely we're looking forward to just doing the whole rock and roll thing, and just getting back out there and sort of reclaiming a little piece of history.
Awesome, man. Awesome. We'll be in touch. Four Horns Are Rock's George Swift, and I want to thank Erik very, very, very much. Indestructible Noise Command is back August 9th. Hellbound is the name of the record through Rising Records. Thank you, Erik.